Hi guys! In this video, I'm going to tell you how to create a simple procedural grid in an Octane Blender. I want to thank the guys from the Blender community who helped me deal with issues related to the Octane nodes in the Blender. If you want to learn Octane in a Blender, it's time to join our group. Now let's get started. Let's add a wave pattern node. Connect the albedo to the channel and set the colors white and black. Let's add a gradient map node and set the position of the sliders as close to each other as possible. Let's add a projection node and a transformation node. Let's set the scale and duplicate the nodes with the Ctrl-Shift-D keyboard shortcut in order to maintain communication with the transformation and projection nodes. By changing the axis value, we get a drawing directed perpendicular. Let's create a texture adding node and mix both textures together. We get these squares. By changing the amplitude value, we adjust them so as to get the shape of small rectangles. Duplicate these nodes and change the value of the axes. Now we get the same rectangles directed perpendicular. Let's add a multiplication node and connect both textures to it. Now we got the crosshair. Duplicate the upper nodes and replace the texture addition node with the texture multiplication node. As a result, we get perpendicular lines. Let's change their thickness. Copy the value and add them to the second node. Great! Duplicate the texture multiplication node again and add the resulting result to it. The next step is to create a fine grid inside the large squares. To do this, duplicate the nodes again and mix the result through the multiplication nodes. At the moment, the scale changes through one node 3 days of transformation. In order to change the scale of a small cell inside large squares, it is necessary to create a separate node of 3D transformations. To control the scale of both a large cell and a small cell, it is necessary to create a node with which we will control the scale values of the two nodes of the transformation. But since the scale value of the two nodes of transformations is different, it is necessary to add a math node that will multiply the value, which will allow you to get the desired result. Now scaling occurs proportionally in both a large cell and a small cell. For the convenience of using this node tree, we will add all nodes to one common group. To do this, select all the nodes of the grouped ones. Now, it is possible to connect the necessary parameters to change the values in the group node. Now we see that we cannot connect the value, since there are no corresponding slots. Therefore, we will create a similar node that has such an opportunity. Copy the value and paste the corresponding fields. Connect the desired value to the input. Now it is possible to adjust the grid scale with one slider of the group node. In the same way, we will connect here the ability to change the length of the crosshair. Let's check how it works. Everything is fine. In the same way, you can connect any values for adjustment. Let's see how you can use this procedural texture on a specific example. I will add a third layer in a composite texture and connect a procedural mesh texture to this layer. Let's change the overlay mode to multiplication and see the result. Now we can change the scale of the grid as well as the length of the crosshair. The grid procedural texture file is waiting for you in the group. See you later.